na Monday, the 12th day inside February 2018. We will bring this Monday edition of the program. Good morning, Salon, come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura, good morning.
Well, as you know, from the headline, Sludge, BPRC, AYV, and the other partner them will hold the presidential debates February 15 this year. How far the preparation don't go? We get inside the studio, Ransford Wright, when are the chairman, outreach committee, and spokesman for the presidential committee. Good morning, Mr. Wright, and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Thank you. Also, again, we get the team lead for Standing Together for Democracy Consortium, when are Dr. Mamoud Idriss Tarawallie. Good morning, Mr. Dr. Tarawallie. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mrs. James.
All right, today and this morning for talk about the week of citizens engagement and what this mean and how important it be as we go towards election. All this day for you now. The program we have full package for you this morning when we come over to the studio guest them as we are from the headline this morning. The presidential candidates them go tell Salon people them waiting and get in store inside a presidential debate. We any presidential debate in any country now one we have citizens them able for access then different candidates them on the plan them we then get. Well, for Salon over the year them we only get not too successful presidential debates them, but for this year the AYV/PPRC with support from the different partner them go hold presidential debate on the 15th of February this year. Well, for give you updates on that. Always a pleasure for get senior colleague inside the studios and Radio Independent Radio Network CEO inside the program when I Ransford Wright. Good morning, Mr. Wright, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning to listeners.
All right, we don't need any more presidential debate. We the candidates them there for 10 Senate people waiting and getting to talk for them. Give me updates so far waiting happen.
Yes, well, the day in notify again. We get just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the big day. The big day na the 15th of February. We definitely in the presidential debates will take place na Bintumani Conference Center, and it get for be 7 o'clock evening time. Of course, it get for be strictly by invitation. Whether not get invitation, not go able for go na Bintumani Conference Center, but you can able for watch them on TV. You go then all the TV station them. And you go then the Independent Radio Network and also plenty other radio station them across the country. You go there all over. So anybody with any part of Salon will still get opportunity for hearing from the presidential candidates then. So preparation on the gone, the plan on the gone, and the candidates are all done already. Last week we've been get a meeting with them where we've been get for go ballot for them position them, how they go for go inside. We are for begin for talk force. At least we don't get Orlando clad and don't do Orlando. And then, of course, not to all the political parties then for take part in the presidential debate. We get 16 registered political parties and 16 candidates them. But for this debate now, 6 get for take part. Now, I know say the next question is, I see you want to shake. Why 6? How we reach pan 6? Okay. Now, we know say people and some of the candidates and they already don't sign a commitment with AYV, so they will take part in the debate. But then at some point, once the discussion they go on, other Sludge and other partners they plan for all debates. Of course, whilst AYV said they plan for all Leone. But it got to a point where we say this is not for the people of Sludge. Let we merge and join all together. So we join all together. But we still recognize say them people also don't sign this commitment, and we decide that we meet with them, we all and begin for discourse. Because practically speaking, it don't make sense for we get 16 people on stage for debates for presidential, election, because they're not able to discuss anything in detail. They're not able to explain anything in detail. Now statement nobody will make the 2 hours done. So we decide that we find a criteria we go use for let be able for shortlist them for no other than go make them to the stage. And we call the political party then per meeting. We all sit down, we discuss, then give it a new idea then. So then say, let we look for the party that we don't take. The one we don't be in long in existence, we get long history, let we take them party then. So then say we look for party we get candidates who are relevant, we make sense, let we choose that kind of person day. Let we choose them party then day. Some then say, well, let we take the one that we take part in the 2012 election. Let we invite them one day, make them take part. Some then say, let we look the candidates the way we field beaucoup parliamentary candidates across the country. And we can consider them in the and take them for be part of the debate. So then can we give different suggestions then? But then we go back as a committee, we look at all the suggestions then, where people where the party then carry it, and we start to look inside them. And we begin for discuss now and say, if we say we want to take other relevant, how would they determine other relevant passing company? It's difficult, it don't make sense. If we say we want to take the party, we don't take pan politics past all man. Now APC and SLPP no more. Now they don't take past 40 years. So it go discriminatory in a way. So like we look at all things in there so, and then we say the easiest thing way, for instance, like if I can just drop this inside America, when they do presidential debates, then they determine the candidates then by polling. For instance, like when they go do survey, the candidates that we popular pass all, we get from 15% and above of popularity. Now they consider. Now if you find out say almost always presidential debates in America now 2% no more than can get. Because the other are not able for matchup. But in real context now, if we say we make polling, number one, first people then go begin question them, say na lie, na rogue, we no know say this in fact this person popular pass this, Danny popular pass this, then kind of thing in it. So the easiest thing we agree on, we say, the one they see we know, now the parliamentary candidates then. Let me look at the political party then, we're able to fill above 25% and above of parliamentary candidates across the country. And when that they happen, that one they show say that party day, it gets a national spread. Okay. In other words, it gets side and always able for like a reach out to people.
Before we can know about the party that we make come to the presidential debate, one go one say all the party there are accredited by NEC. We may say they qualify, they meet all the necessary requirements under the constitution for be political party. Now they don't make come to the final six. What you now go do for them because we don't see they get serious concern, but say they will boycott the debate. What you now they do for them?
All right, we don't engage them from the day we make the announcements. They vex, they make alala we and all things in the. But we don't beg them and they try to talk to them. We don't tell them say. Definitely we understand say not that we want to discriminate against them, but we look at the practicality for make the debate go really make sense. And we don't try to talk to them. But we don't tell them say the one thing we get for do is we give them all an opportunity for address the nation. The themes and for the different area them we look at them and we say we give the opportunity to say una address the nation because na platform where you go find themselves they part of them. And then also we in discussion, possibly we'll get a meeting with them by tomorrow. We in discussion where we plan forget another kind of like debate so go bring them all together and engage them.
But Mr. Wright, the essence of presidential debates now for the candidates and come together, talk on the issues, tell people them waiting then gets for them if they happen for win the election. Now I don't select 6 out of the 16 political party them will register. The other one them, I don't know if now we are still they self get their own areas them where them we don't make promise to them people then say now so I go want for look at if I have for be president. Now they don't make into this debate. How then people then you think say go react to this decision of the committee?
Well, of course, the reaction will be say they're not go gladly because all man for the on stage. We understand that all man for the on stage, but if we want to look at now salon all day, practically speaking, if the party are not able to get candidates across the country, it tell you say something not the work fine with the party, either the party small, and again the other issue back home we need to discuss again are the fact that the election calendar very tight because some of them they tell you say well the time way PPIC approve them, so the time way they begin for organize and begin for get themselves sorted out for filling parliamentary candidates and all and the term in 2 shots. And we self they tell and say the same thing back, the term 2 shots for we self, for let we able for like get there all 16. Otherwise, if we get plenty resources, so if we don't make debates for half sets, then kind in within the where we like me for doing that with it. But the way how the situation there is very tight. and we just get for agree on a criteria. And it funny say, no matter what kind criteria we agree on, people will always complain. That one day only obvious.
So what are the lucky six?
Well, I don't want to call a lucky six, but the six that we meet the criteria. The six that we meet the criteria are APC, SLPP, C4C, CDP, NGC, and ADP. Now then 6 meets the 25% threshold criteria we set.
You talk about the time just now, where you explain. You say that 2 hours, then get 2 hours, then get 40.
Yes, 2 hours 30 minutes actually.
Okay. With all the issues that whether political party they don't say them go do, the one who don't pull a manifesto then so far, you think say that 2 hours 30 minutes they enough for let them go talk on the issues then?
Well, yes, we go manage the time well. We don't plan them, how the segments they get for go like. Of course, we get forget 3 broad themes when I get for focus on. The one get for do with human development. Whether the Bokutin and get for the inside human development. We all know we camp for human development, Bokutin and the under day. We also get for focus on the economy. Of course, we camp on the economy back, Bokutin and the under economy. And then of course, we can to with the third one, the third theme, now inclusive governance. Of course, then they say we get plenty thing there inside it. So definitely, we believe say the older apportion the time, it go enough for them to address several issues across the board.
All right, continue for David Twin at the studios, Ransford Wright, in the chairman for the outreach committee, spokesman for the presidential debate committee. We'll come back to you later for give you more information inside the program. Good morning, Salon. As Salon go get presidential debate on the 15th February this week, Thursday. We'll give you more information on that. I come over to Dr. Mamoud, Idriss, Tarawallie, team lead, standing together for democracy consortium. Instead, they are this morning for talk about the week of citizens engagements. Waiting at citizens week of citizens engagement week.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James. As everybody in this studio are pretty well know, say they're all aware that in the next 23-24 days, Sierra Leone will reach another democratic milestone. We will get the 4th post-conflict democratic election and the 5th multi-tier, multi-party election since 1996. This week of citizens' engagements now a final push for engage all Sierra Leoneans for making them understand the issues around these elections. So the brother Ransford, they talk about presidential debate. To what extent the people in Sierra Leone understand the issues them will matter. But above all, we also hear about void votes. People they go vote and just not get better voter education at all. When if you go to the polling station, what do you do for ensure say you know vote bad so that your vote counts. But above all, election only important when people feel say they're not part of the process. And so the week of citizens engagement are for provide that kind of information, energize the people of Sierra Leone. 23 days towards the elections for say this now we own process, this now we own election. I called day before yesterday will be the Commander Junior on Saturday with the presidential debate caravan. The one that we go upline for go talk to the citizens of Sierra Leone for let them understand the issues that will matter to them during the elections. Who's kind of question will for ask the presidential candidates then? You know, all mommy stop over to me and say, we don't vote for over 50 years. I'm over 70 years old now. When I tell you about why I for vote and why this election is important. The week of citizens engagement, now for answer that question there, now for energize the citizens across the country. So it's full of activities across Sierra Leone. This morning, Asma, we will start with an official launch of the process with the good one on Mabila. And I know you'll ask me why Mabila. And I think we will launch the week of citizens engagement. From there, with the kind of national stadium, also will get what we call an elections bazaar. Also, we'll get several speakers. NEC go do the PPIC go do the police go do the women's group go do the youth group go do the IGR go do the 50-50 go do the. They all go talk on thematic areas. So if you want for any information about women and why this election is important for them, 50-50 go do the. If you want for any information about young people, you know, we'll get young groups and day about we'll go talk about the election. If you want for any about disability, but above all, NEC don't pull key messages them. With some of them, we don't put them into frequently asked questions. Who's time for go votes? We get answer for you. We will actually the polling center, wait for do. We get answer for you. If me na woman, if me na disabled person, if me na elderly person, I want to go to polling center, they will give me preferential treatment to get answer for you. We don't put all them answers in FAQs, frequently asked questions. And we don't voice them over. And we will get mics, them PA system across the country for engage Sierra Leoneans for understand about the election. And this not will only be in Africa, it will be a national event.
All right. You said the consortium they do this citizens engagement week as we get 23 days to elections. This is the final push for engaged citizens then. But when I can engage the citizens then, what about the political party then? Because then when I go talk all the talk on one photo, but the leader them of the political party then now some of the supporters they listen to. How now they engage them in this Citizens Week?
Thank you very much, Asma. In this press conference this morning, Amabela, all the political parties have been invited. You know, for the last 11 months, the consortium through in 7 partners don't reach out to political parties using different means. So, for instance, last week, the Institute for Governance Reform, IGI, began to call an interfaith dialogue session. You know, we in our country, we're very religiously tolerant, and we want for use that in the positive sense. We want for bring all the 2 major religions in Sierra Leone for let them get dialogue session with the political parties. We've done that last week, and next week what we will do, ahead of the elections, we will pray for all the presidential candidates. Let God give them the wisdom, let give them the sense to handle this country fine. But beyond that, in all the activities, we engage with the political leaders. They go one for let you say, week before last, we get like engagement with young people, the Musa political parties. They also make commitments, say they will ensure say the elections peaceful. And in this week of citizens engagement, we'll get activity slots for political parties across the world. Beyond that, PPIC actively involved in this process. NEC is actively, they all will get booth from a stadium, whose side they all will preach the message about the elections for be peaceful, for be all inclusive, and for ensure say when we go out there for go vote, it's about the issues that will matter to the people and will be the deciding factor.
All right, continue for the between the studios. Dr. Mamoud Idriss, Tarawallie, team lead standing together for democracy. Consortium.
Mr. Wright, you don't explain but the process them way the unaga for use for all the debate and how una select the 6 political party them we get for debate. One important question where people only debate on our Facebook page are that the only woman we team up for people concerned about the presidential candidate, woman presidential candidate, we team up for team up the 2018 election, but not for make them the debate.
All right, and also that in a genuine concern. Well, one from the woman parliamentary candidates now like more popular. We name people and know what's more. But then of course RFP then said don't get other. Let me get other woman with them appointed. And I think say third one safety one by the other new party them. Now the issue is, you know, when it comes to woman business, we all know say we can want to push woman business go before. But honestly, me can look and say it can be very unfair for let we just take a level and just push woman no more for push woman sake. And that's the reason we just look and say, you know, this is a politics business, and if we don't develop a criteria, we want to go with that criteria. Of course, if the party we get female presidential candidates and the woman party, if it meets the threshold, no, we're not going to go the left and behind. We put an inside, it go there, you know. But we not the look, we not be just the look no more that kind of thing say for woman. And I will tell you honestly, if we been take sometimes we been take that woman, they will say, okay, well, low consider and say because now woman, now the only criteria that you know more, we put her inside. Like some of the other parties, the way they're all small, you know, we know get Boku candidates across the country. By now they all go they argue back. The same arguments back say why not a woman they because now woman they will begin find all kind of reason and whatever. So we definitely understand the need for gender inclusiveness and all that thing. But this one, because of the criteria we set and the number of people every day, you know, the 6 set even plenty for like we like really, you know, able for like go into the debate and get Bokutin who wants from that. So like now that make we able for get them because of the criteria we're able for meet.
Mr. Wright, let me look at the questioning. So I know everybody's suspicious of each other, especially if you didn't have the media, the way you talk, you ask questions, you know, depending on who that they listen, that's how they judge you.
Yeah.
So the questioning and the moderator of this very important debate, you will just get that information.
All right. Now the moderator first for the debate now somebody way now a well-respected journalist na salon. We now no less a person but Hassan Aruni of the BBC. We definitely Hassan no for who don't meet to the postcard party then. Nobody no raise no objection for say, hey, we no want that moderator day, hey, we no have salon day. If anybody then gets one issue, something an argument if I don't say they need to take part in the debate because that moderator day, now this party day, or that moderator day, now so you can make that moderator day, you know, like this person, you know, like that person day, that kind of thing. But honestly, nobody no raise non-objection. We don't give confidence say the party then says they get confidence by the person way, you know, therefore moderates the event. Now when it comes to the issue of the questioning, now we too don't do over the last few weeks, we dey try to get our citizens' view, people and voices, because this debate not to I know people and feel say that just like some kind show business no more they go happen like for just go make fine waiting. No, it's about addressing the real issues of the people of Sierra Leone. And like as I've been put something back where they talk, I say now like a national job interview. Somebody want work and the work where the person wants now for be president of Sierra Leone. And not just they can no more and be president no more. We need for know in ability what he able to do, like can talk to it. So what we don't do, we get something we call Storm Salon over the past few days. We go across the country. They gather people and voices, people and views, waiting people and think, but different in them. People and they talk about education, people and they talk about housing, people and they talk about water, people and they talk about all the things where they monitor them. So don't get all them views, then they them voice, then they and then thing. And one thing we get for do pan the debates, we get something we get for call like a case studies. Where like we go bring the real life situation of Salon. This now Usai Salon they right now. You as presidential candidates, how you go address this problem? Something like that, not standing at Tinder the way Natil then they go say and they go give us in question. The thing there before you see. Look how this part of Salon town, what you go do as a presidential candidate for change Salon. So that you're not to think that way they say they don't go give this person question, or they ask this person out question, or they ask an easy question, you know, then kind of thing. Because I know that the people will be very sensitive to that. How when the moderator be ask the question, it be twisting face, or when the moderator be ask the question, it be make so. This is not like this candidate. I know people they look for all kinds of things, but definitely we'll get a professional, we go for the above situation.
So Mr. Wright, what's difference you think say this presidential debate could bring to the election process?
It will bring plenty difference. Now the one thing we get for happen is some people in the way they get different arguments about whether presidential debates they sway votes and any kind of stuff then. Well, the one day we not get a concluding statement to go say this one power panel so it will be, or say this one definitely it will change this or it will change that or whatever. But it got the ability for influence. And the thing what they say is when the presidential candidates then come team up before the nation, that one then are the biggest platform ever. Because imagine where all the media they together, all man they attention, we stand together and ready for receive them. Definitely again for create significant impact. Because the trigger for happen is people then get an opportunity for assess the candidates then. Listen to them when they talk, hear out when they explain. If they get passion for something, when they talk and you they know. If they're really interested in something, when they talk and you they know. So it definitely will create an impact to people and go fully understand what's in the leader they want to do. And also it go deep in with democracy. Because that one of the things that we really consider and say, now a milestone in with democracy will definitely go make a significant difference in the total outlook.
Alright, continue for the program. We'll bring you in Dr. Mamoud Idriss Tarawallie. We're into this week of citizens' engagement on the electoral process. Where one go and say it very timely because the issue of me not the votes, not the come up. Everybody get in reason depending to who that you talk to say me not the vote. And another issue again, ID cards them still they not neck offices them because people refuse not for go take their ID card them. How now we will include their issues there what I mentioned to you now the engagement way una they do so far with people.
Thank you very much, Khadija. The very essence, like what you said, the very essence of this week of citizens engagement. And it no means that this week no more they do what they do so. But what we want to do this week now for strengthening the activities that we don't do already. And we understand that over 40,000 voter ID cards still they would make. And part of the messages that we don't develop as part of the week of citizens engagement, and for tell people and say, when I still get them for going to the district headquarters and also register and pick up your ID card, because that's my fundamental passport to the democratic process. If you not get your ID card, you're not going to go for vote. So that's part of the engagement. And beyond that, we partner with the lead this process. Now CGG, they actually lead this week of citizens engagement, and I want to congratulate them. They've done a fantastically good job for able to put all the police, the political parties, NEC, PPRC, NCD, all the key actors in the electoral process, for let them take part in this week of citizens engagement, because it involves a series of activities, well over 10 activities. One of them could be institutional outreach. So we'll get like a Ransford Wright, the big man then at the consortium, Nora, Marcella, Jimmy, all the 7 partners we make up the consortium. They all get forget what we call an institutional outreach. Then we reach at their school, then we reach at them banks, then we reach at their office then. Because sometimes they will feel say they hand everything at their high office and get the information. Most times they don't. So one for let them reach, they let them talk to them about the elections, then they understand the issues. So yes, we will take all of the issues here, so very important, which is why the focus is not only in Freetown. We will get regional bazaar, the same thing we will do in the stadium, today and tomorrow. We will go na approved school, we will go Princess, they will get the same bazaar, we will done, we will go Waterloo, we will do the same thing. But beyond that, we also will get some specific area in Freetown where people can pay attention to, like Lumley roundabout, like Congo Cross roundabout, like PZ. We will get set the PA system, we put people in the way get information, we get flyer. Then we'll do there for the whole week. And they talk about the elections, and we talk about peace, and we talk about non-violence, and talk about the participation of young people and women, voter ID card collection, all the issues that we matter at the elections, then we'll do them. But beyond that again, we also call community mobilizers. These are people who they work from host to host. We don't give them a megaphone, go out to the community, and then they reach out to the people and tell them about the election, then they go participate.
All right, let me look at the statement you just made. 30 to 40,000 people that still get not collect the ID card, but from the last time we get information from NEC, almost 90% of the people they don't collect the ID card. So how, for say people that still they will not take the ID card, how una go ensure say una engage the citizens for go take the ID card?
So first of all, we understand the limitations where people get for collect the ID card. A lot of people the roads some of them not accessible. And ask me, the truth is poverty plenty in Sierra Leone. So man and that 5,000 where you could take for common and go to the nearest center for collecting card. You would prefer for feeding picking that you go take card. We understand those decisions have to be made almost on a daily basis for people in survival. But would they encourage people would they urge them for let them go and let them go collect the ID card? Because the democratic process now part of the way where you could transform your life. I recall that Mamoud asked me on Saturday why info votes and why the election matter to them. If we all vote the right person, if we all understand the issues, we pretty much well know say if we vote the right candidates, it will transform our health system, it will transform our education system, it will transform our infrastructure. We will make sure say Sierra Leone is much more accountable, transparent, and democratic. So we urge the people of Sierra Leone, you guys go out there, collect your ID card now, because only when you collect your ID card you get right for votes, and only when you vote you will contribute for transform Sierra Leone.
All right, continue for the meeting at the studios. Dr. Mamoud, Idriss, Tarawallie, team lead, standing together for democracy consortium, then get citizens engagement week. Beside the consortium, they engage with citizens.
They look at comments and concern now where una don't send na the program this morning.
This other message we will look at say thank you very much to those organizing the debate. I am so happy you've marched with AYV Media Empire to organize this debate. But my concern is who would be the moderator where Mr. Wright can answer that question there.
This other one, they say the debate is a good idea. I hope it is going to be people-centered.
This other message from Abdulamin Daycare say Radio D, can you please ask the spokesman for the presidential debate which language the participants are going to speak, Creole or English? If it's English, then majority of Sierra Leone people will not be able to get the clear message from the participants, because English is not the common language for most Sierra Leone people.
This other one who don't come to the program, they say the smaller parties' views are denied, depriving their rights to be heard. This is national issue. Allow all participants by having even 5 hours airtime.
More message, we don't come to the program. Good morning, Salon. They say there's a desire for the informed citizen. Therefore, it is the media's duty to inform the people of what is going on with our judiciary system, the social world, the economy, and the environment, etc. So, what are we capable of making rational and accurate decisions? So, let's large AYVSLBC come out with a route on one, what caused Ebola and where did the funds go, what really caused conditions of the alleged mudslide corpse, why does the initial 7.5 billion price on the diamond character and so on.
This other one who don't come on the program this morning, they say, can a senior executive member of a political party represent his or her flag bearer in the debates?
No message, you don't come on the program. They say engaging citizens on what? They say please clarify.
This other one again, they say, Mr. Organizer, how can Sierra Leonean be part of this debate?
This other message we will say, you say, are the audience going to ask questions because you say it's strictly by invitation?
This other one again, this where they come from Abdulamin Denken on Facebook page. They say, ADD, can you please ask the spokesman for the presidential debate which language the participants are going to speak, Creole or English? If it is English, then majority of Salon people will not able to get the message.
No message, we don't come at the program. Good morning, Salon. This other one say, he say, Mr. Man, you are talking about engaging citizens, but we see political parties engaging their citizens already. How is this one different?
This other one, they say, please, Mr. Debate Organizer, can you please ask all the presidential candidates about their key responsibilities if they assume the office?
This other one say, will you have time to respond, for candidates to respond to questions just in case the other won't call their names in the debate?
This other one who don't come at the program, they say, Mr. Wright, please, how is the moderator going to allocate the time to the presidential candidate?
This one says, good morning from Abubakar Bar on Facebook. They say, Radio D, I don't think this debate will in any way influence the election vote because Leoneans have already made up their minds to vote for who they want to the debate. The debate is very good, but I'm afraid here is not America. More message, we don't come inside the program. Good morning, Salud. Ransford, have you guys taken into consideration the campaign schedule for both APC and SLPP and perhaps the rest like C4C and NGC? What if the debate coincides with the campaign schedule and they are unavoidably absent because they have rallied that they all are in the provinces? Few message more we don't come at the studios. Good morning, Salud. 19, some of us are critical of the involvement wasted over debates. They have first shot of the phone. Right, 19, some of us are critical of the involvement of Sludge, AYV and SMBC presiding over the presidential debate. They have first shots of informing the populace of what's going on with the president and his boys, the economic corruption and lack of basic amenities from Hillary. Few more message we'll go read inside the program. Good morning, Salo. He say, good morning, 19th. So what happens if a candidate who had signed and undertaken to participate at the debate refuses to do so or decides to send a member of his team? I would like to suggest there should be a permanent media blackout of that candidate by all media houses for such disrespect to our people. Other message we will look at is say, Mr. Mamoud, Idriss, Tarawallie, please let me ask you this question. How can you encourage the people to vote? And what if someone says he or she will not vote? And well, the last message we have read inside the program this morning, inside the program, good morning, Samuel, he said, thanks to Radio Democracy for giving us this opportunity to hear information about the debate. I'm so excited and waiting for this debate. I hope say the candidates are not going to make Kwama too, and to the one who will be asking questions, please don't ask embarrassing questions. We are tired of hearing, we want to continue on the key with Papa then. Let's go to the issues that is more better. Come out from Army. Well, we get the studio test them at the studios, we get Ransford Wright, we come on at the Presidential Debate Committee, and also Dr. Mamoud, this team lead standing together Consortium, we go respond to our message. I'll start with you, Dr.
Thank you very much, Asma. Just for add something to the presidential debate before Ransford can. It's a forward-looking debate, to be very honest. It's about the future. It's about how, if they elect you as the next president of Sierra Leone, what you go do. I acknowledge some questions, but they are around the past, but we don't want to be held hostage by our past. We want for more forward-looking about the future. What you go do when they elect you as president. I just want to add that bit there before Ransford take over. Somebody asked a question about engaging citizens on what. We all know, say, democracy is about the people. It's not about, Ransford mentioned one point just now, the extent of how people understand election as a process of recruitment. So for instance, imagine you not even get business, or we ask my one interview in ISO for take people and for big journalists. You'll be looking out for the best, not also ask man. You go look out for the best. You go ask a couple of questions. You go look at inequalities. You go look at mannerisms. Okay, this if you can ask a reporter, you go move for engage with the issues. Now that's what we're supposed to do as unions. Even now with us, behind every day they recruit somebody as a house help for can help you. You go look the way you go dress canals, the way you go handle the picking them, the way you go look after your kitchen, the way you go look after your parlor. All of them things here so, and then they make up for the best candidates. The presidents, the members of parliament, all the people who they seek public offices. Now job and they seek from we are the employers, and we're supposed to put them at the microscope quite seriously before we choose them or before we select them for being leaders. And so in terms of the engagement, that is the engagement. It's about people understanding the issues so that they're not just gap my money and go out for go vote because I don't give me one polo, because I don't give me one t-shirt, I don't add one something there. What's not the core issues that will affect me as a Sierra Leonean, and what's are the issues that we need to vote for? Now make what they call the people of Sierra Leone for votes, now a democratic right. And in some countries, and they even punish you if you don't vote. I understand the challenges in there. People will not get money, they get other resources. But we, as civil society leaders, now we responsibility there for all the people ever say, go out there and cast your ballot. Because if you not cast your ballot, other people will cast their ballot. And when decision come out of there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. They say political parties and they engage people then. Yes, and they engage people then because people then just feel say the role of political parties now for just go out there, win votes, and go sit down. No. They also get a responsibility of civic education, and they have to do it properly. Which is why, if we engage them collectively, and you see political leader, you see Dr. Samura, you see Brigadier Julius Madabi, you see Dr. Kande Yumkela, you see Honorable Musa Tarawallie, all the 6 presidential candidates, they all stand up on one podium and say, violence is wrong. We denounce them, and you're not doing that in the name of your own political parties. Believe me, violence will reduce in this election. You know, so realizers, the Dima Abela, as I speak now, reaching out to the people of Sierra Leone for they don't understand the issues. Turn out en masse, cast your ballot, and do it peacefully, and wait for the results, so that when we elect the next government, we can come back and engage there and say, you promise, can we come back and knock the door? Which you don't do.
All right, continue for the Dr. Tarawallie from the Standing Together Consortium.
Yeah, somebody that asks if senior representative then can represent the candidate. Of course, the answer is no. Now the presidential candidate it's just like you go for and work on side. They call you for go interview. They select people that go interview for you. Then also this person so you know one that work definitely. So nobody know they represent the presidential candidate and then self get for go. Somebody they talk about the if they go allow them for ask question. I should say the person they talk about if like inside the hall. Okay, the hall, the plenary in Abintimani, nobody not get for ask question inside it. Not to like the town hall debates in them. This is not strictly the moderator normal 9 they ask questions, so nobody not get for ask question. But one thing that will happen is we get 9 other satellite studios that we get for day where people ain't gonna forget groupings, we ain't gonna forget one at Kono, one at McKinney, one at Bo, one at Kenema, across the country, and then we're gonna forget now Western area, we're gonna forget one at Shangri-La, one at Bookfields Hotel, and one at Radisson Blue. So then group, then they then studio, then they will get different sets of people like Radisson Blue, will get business people in, Shangri-La will get youth them, and PWD, you get women them, and CSO people them now, Bookfields Hotel. Then will they discuss issues them during the day from 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They will discuss various issues then concerning the way they monitor them. their own concerns them. And the issues that way they come up, the main thing that way they come up from the discussion, and they get for pass them on to the main moderator. We'll get the moderator will for coordinate then. So at this we'll get an idea of the thing where business people and passionate about, the thing where youth and passionate about, that kind of thing. And so that they'll get for form the questioning for present to the candidates. Then somebody asks about the language. Now the language, from the rules they would make for the debate, the language will say in English, but candidates then will be allowed for respond in Creole. So if somebody wants to explain an idea, he thinks say we explain in Creole and people will really understand. If free for do them, then we don't agree on that one day. Also, somebody they asks about the candidates, something about their responsibilities. Now, well, I think say the question we get for come, it get for take into consideration plenty of our concern them. I know say somebody want to let them ask the candidates and that question. Definitely, then they go get for coming. Somebody they talk about if they call person name if you for respond or whatever. Yes, the way how we don't design them, we get rules and procedures how the debates get for go. Definitely, all man gets 10 for answer in question when they ask them. Maybe you get 2 minutes for a particular segment, you get 2 minutes for answer the question. Now, after you answer the question, 2 minutes, if somebody they answer your question, then he call in company name, he refer to them pan something, then that person they he get right for reply. If you want for correct, say no, na wrong thing that person they talk, not to so me been do, or not to so I been do, or whatever. He gets 1 minute inside the way he can able for reply. So it's all organized. The other one, somebody they say debates not go influence people and all man don't make up in mind and salon. Well, that's so that person they think. As far as me concerned, I your opinion that one day. Now the one thing where we know is the democracy in a salon it grow. Waiting the happen now for this election 2018, not in the happen 2012. So we believe say gradually we they move. And we think say no matter what the debate itself gets in your role where they play for contribute to the election in fine one, you know, the violence free, and then we still get people away not decided where they between the fence, then they watch all man force, you know. So definitely sometimes the debates can influence them people and they as well. Somebody say if we take into consideration the campaign schedule, of course we know say the campaign schedule is tight. We don't fix this term they are so all before the campaign schedule they come out, but we don't engage them, and they all don't make commitments towards that. Now the trigger for happen is people need for also understand is that this is the biggest campaign platform where any of them can get. So it's for they don't they consider them as critical part of the activity. So definitely now one big campaign event this as well, because now time we get for talk to the nation but what you want for do and anything. Then quickly somebody say a critical but large and AYV and something will not be looked too clear. I don't know exactly what that person they want to say. But I want for lay people and fears. I want for allayed and fears say they don't need for afraid or worry about anything. Alright, the group they all we don't come together. They're all credible. And you can't get a group, a committee of 10 to 15 people for them all day then think one way. It's just not possible.
Alright, continue for the week to the program Ransford Wright.
Somebody they asked Mr. Wright to say how will the winner of the debates be determined? So the debates now about
debate not a competition, not a winner or the girlfriend.
Okay, so we are not going for talk who that win or who that
no. Debate not going to forget who that win or who that not win. This now assessment of now the citizen you get for make an assessment. That they get for make a judgment now say, okay, from waiting this person talk, it look like say this person here, so it makes sense to me. I go vote for her. Or I choose this or that. Now that kind of thing, not to win or to go friend for say that this nice score the highest points. We'll not even plan any grading like that self.
Somebody they ask question, but questions we don't pass in before. I mean embarrassing questions through text messages or questions. We didn't see any of them kind in there.
No. We're not gonna forget nothing like that. So we're not gonna forget non-embarrassing question because the debate's not gonna be a personality debate. And not a debate where in history they go pan. The debate now forward-looking debate where they go look for salon tomorrow. Now so one for less salon time. Waiting this person gets planned for do. Now would they tell the political party then say not to the in a way. If we go spend 30 minutes, they discuss about salon history, elder well salon. We know they go nowhere. If you don't well, if you get on your mind say you don't well, come now and can tell the people of salon what will they do for makeup. Now before one go.
Any plans in getting the all the presidential candidates together in that hall, all man go in a different place in a relaxed mood for make sure say somebody go for tens. What you know as the group now get anything for doing that?
Yes, we don't plan that one day. We don't plan it nicely. You know, then get placed now then get placed now Bintumani Conference Center, then get placed where they go. Each presidential candidate, he gets 6 person with the with them. A party of 6 people and way man or woman we go there around them for support which he need, you know, then kind of thing and then they get a special room where they where they go, now they don't get for go first. They go inside that room there. If you want like cold, if you want like warm, anyone we want, if you want drink hot water, if you want cold water, whatever you want, anything you want for like make it comfortable. Will they make them available so it will be comfortable, it relax, calm himself down. When the time reach for let the debate start, then Canada, then get out, then they walk out, then go straight, then line up at the podium. Of course, Bintimani, we don't do this set, all things don't they go on right now, we don't almost complete and all. It's so nice. You know, of course, I don't say like you don't see them because you're not part of the outreach committee, asthma. So you don't see them.
You know, I organize the debate.
Like I'm to you, Dr. Mamoud Idriss Tarawallie. The issue of the first-time voter, them now one we don't come up, na discussion them where we don't do towards the March 7 election. Plenty pandemic, you go interest you for no say. They don't even get idea how to go about this voting. Most of them voters ID card them not even been at their possession again. How are we able to include first-time voter them now this citizens engagement week who not they engage with people them for the electoral process?
Thank you very much. We take note of the people them. We own brother and sister that really vote for the first time. Some man are 18 years, some man are 22 years. Some of them really worry within this election go mean and who's can change their own votes go make. But I want to surprise you on 2 activities I want to attend. One, na CGG na organized last week na St. Anthony's Hall. The kind of question the way young people ask to the neck people, to the people in the PPIC, to the police, I was pleasantly surprised that young people actually understand some of the issues. What we need for do now for mobilize them and this we go do within this period. Now, this CGG go do, and because they get network of young people across the country where they engage. Last week they did Nabo. The other week they made Kenima. The last 10 they made McKinney. Last week they made a Freetown. So that engagement they really did well. But beyond that, by November, December last year, IGR creates a network of young people where they listen for college. And the commissioner of NEC, INSESF na MBD, the chief electoral commissioner, Mr. Ransford. You know, the young people ask them salient question about me, a young woman, I just turned 18, and this first 10 is where they vote. But I need for work at one distance from me and for go and for go vote. What's that go mean to me? Will I be safe? The police will provide security. All of their issues there, so they come up. And they engage with the young people for let them vote more. Because in we data, we get information say about 800,000 people then will come into the voter register for the very first time. And then people also will be first time voters. So if we get them very well, it's very important. But beyond that, within the consortium, just for summarize, we do several activities. On elections day, IIN alone, and we all will be part of them. We can't take una first care, una go na IIN. We will get to elections broadcast. We'll get 650 reporters who will deploy across the country. And that fantastic tune we say Leone and can listen to IIN day, we will be connected also. As my day, una all go this on side for talk about the election. Now one thing we'll go do. Right now, we do with ONS, PPIC, for do issues about elections, violence, the gangs, the Okada riders, all of this now for ensure say we all work together.
Right.
So I want to say big thank you to we colleagues and CGG and all the 7 partners now they standing together for Democracy Consortium for the wonderful job what they do for promote peace and an inclusive electoral process in this election here.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mamoud Idriss Tarawallie, team lead for the Standing Together for Democracy Consortium. Before we go quickly, Mr. Ransford Wright, the debate will be Thursday. Just like what you don't explain, all the 6 presidential candidates them don't they gear up now towards this debate. What you go left with people who don't listen to you?
Well, I just want to remember people and say, you know, the theme for this debate here, so now making elections meaningful, let me push Salon go before. And always to get for the revolve around that. And I want to also remind people and say, we get other 2 debates that we get for happen. We're now a women's debate, we then get for be on the 22nd, and then the youth debates. No, the youth debates get for be on the 22nd of February, and then we get for get a women's debate on the 1st of March. Then debates and now the political party then get for send representative them, we will then get for train them, we get for train them, and then they get for articulate issues you know, around woman issue, around youth issues, whether they all get for take place in the British Council. And we look forward for, say, the 15th, Thursday.
Ask my no excuse not for attend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ransford Wright, Spokesman, Presidential Debate Committee, and Dr. Mamoud Idriss Tarawallie, we are the team lead for Standing Together for Democracy Consortium. Many thanks for coming to the program this morning.